Well, hello, I'm Miss Norander, and we're going to be talking about some fitness trends that we've seen here in the United States over the last. Some of the trends I'm going to be talking about are more current trends. But before we do that, our objective today, whoops, let me go back, is to learn about the evolution of fitness in America and to learn about some of these current trends and that Americans face that are both, there's a lot of positive trends and there are some negative trends. And then I want you to consider ways to change some of the negative trends, especially as it relates to uh, you as a member of this class. Now, in the United States, as a culture, we used to be a lot more fit. And when we were stronger, it was primarily because we were an agricultural society and people were busy working on the farm. And it was also more difficult to move from place to place. So if you wanted to go across town, you had limited options. You could walk, you could ride a horse. In some cases, you might be able to get some public transportation, but again, you had to get to the transportation, and people tended to be out walking a lot more. Well, as the Industrial Revolution took hold, and a lot of the jobs that were done by hand were taken over by machines, as a society, we have become more sedentary because the machines are doing this hard work for us now. So, really fast forward to today, what do? We sit. We spend an incredible amount of time sitting. We sit in our cars as we're going from point A to point B. We sit on our computers as we're attending school, as we are involved with social media. If you are a gamer, you're sitting while you're playing games. And so that has led to an increase in overall obesity and as a society, as we become more obese, that increases our risk for various health issues. And my hope is that in this class, you can find a physical activity that you're passionate about, that you can participate in regularly, because that will help you and your lifelong fitness. So, what are some current trends? Well, in 2017, wearing a some sort of fitness tracking device um, is becoming very, very popular. I see these on all sorts of people, and they're more accessible now. The price has gone down. That results in more people being able to use them to track their fitness. The apps on cell phones have become a whole lot more sophisticated. So I see a lot of people, they have their fitness app on their phone, and their phone, we all carry our phones with us. That's another way to use those types of devices. And depending on whether you're using a Fitbit or an app, a lot of those let you connect with your friends or family members or even other people around the world. And you can say, hey, I walked 10,000 steps today. And someone else will say, aha, I did 11,000. So it's a way to build community. Body weightlifting is also becoming more popular. And what's so cool about this is it's a very inexpensive way to get fit. And by body weightlifting, I'm referring to exercises where, like a push up or doing a plank, or any activity where all you need is yourself. If I am lifting weights in an exercise class and maybe I'm using 10-pound dumbbells, that's not a whole lot of weight. But if I am holding a plank because I weigh a lot more than 10 pounds, that is building up more muscle mass and it's strengthening my bones a whole lot more. And it's cheap. My body goes wherever I go. Another trend is doing group training and doing it in an inexpensive way. So I see a lot of CrossFit here in the Portland Gresham area. The CrossFit gyms, I think they cost around $10 a month, which is just super, super, super cheap. And what's nice is you can get out of your house, you can go to a club like that, and they've got a nice circuit that they do, and you're around other people that are also working on their physical fitness goals. So you get that community. Um, Participation in these types of programs is growing, and we anticipate that that will continue to grow. You don't have to belong to a fancy club. You can there's lots of cheap options out there. The idea that exercise is medicine is a current trend. When we're regularly participating in exercise, you're lowering your risk of heart disease, stroke, cancer, dementia, diabetes. There's a slew of exercise diseases that if we are regularly active, it really sets us up to be healthier. And when you're healthy, you're liking life a whole lot more than if you're not. So that's something that's really positive, and that applies to all age groups. Yoga. Now you might laugh, but it's a huge thing right now. And it's not just for people that are, people make fun of your zenned out yogi friend who's kind of like, meditating. But guess what? These people are onto something, because the practice of yoga, it has been around for thousands of years. And not only does it help your body, but it helps boost your mood, and it really makes you strong, especially in your core. And what's kind of cool about yoga is there is a yoga style for every person. You can have the zenned out meditative type yoga. You can have hot yoga. I participate in power yoga, which is where I'm lifting weights and doing yoga. And there's everything in between. So yoga it's gaining in popularity, and it's great for all ages. Let's see, using exercise as a weight loss tool. So while, having a healthy weight is never going to go out of style, instead of using a trendy diet or participating and buying one of those expensive programs, going out and getting regular exercise, walking, running, yoga, cycling, that helps you to lift your metabolism, which results in weight loss. And it's really a big piece of having a diet that's healthy. And I know we're in high school, but it's nice to know that our parents and our grandparents also have healthy options in terms of fitness programs. They weren't available when my grandparents were alive. And anyway, seeing those baby boomers, when you go to clubs, a lot of times you'll see a lot of elderly people, but it's because they're trying to maintain their core strength, and by being active, they're keeping themselves healthy for a longer amount of time. And it's really cool. We can all exercise together. Now, there's a trainer, Thompson, And he was interviewed, and what he is really disappointed about in terms of overall health or fitness programs is that young people have been really overlooked as a group. And that's especially concerning because kids and teenagers are at a record high in terms of overall obesity. And, you know, kids and teens used to be outside playing more. And that's not happening as much, especially with the gaming and all of that. And it's, anyway, as a population group, you're at high risk. So, I want you to be aware of that and, figuring out an activity that you might love. Whoops. Functional fitness, what that is making sure that you have the strength to do what you need to do in your daily life. There are people that get so out of shape that walking to the grocery store is very, very challenging, or, moving some furniture. And so you want to be able to maintain enough fitness so that you can do basic life. And so that's what functional fitness is, and that's gaining more attention. Another big trend is outdoor activities. It's so cool now that trainers will not have you working out only in a gym, but they're saying, hey, let's go kayaking, let's go play basketball, or maybe go rock climbing. All of these activities help to keep you strong. And if you love what you're doing, you're going to do it. It keeps the chore out of exercise. I found it interesting that experts say that you can burn up to 530 calories an hour while hiking. And if you have some wind resistance, I don't know, hiking in a blizzard or maybe up on Mount Hood where there's a lot of wind, you can possibly burn even more. And it's always nice being outside because that always, at least for me, and I know other people, it makes my mood feel better. And it's just a very enjoyable experience all the way around. Another trend is instead of being a personal coach, there's a movement towards what we know of as wellness coaches. Now, personal trainers, they're very focused on building up your body strength and endurance. But a wellness coach takes that to the next level. And what they're concerned about is, how is your mental health? How are you emotionally feeling? And they're really good about helping you to set goals and using those goals to mark your progress, because everyone likes to make progress. So they're very encouraging, and you'll see a lot of them being used for folks that are in some sort of rehabilitation, maybe from an accident, an automobile accident, or maybe if you're recovering from a pretty serious disease like a massive heart attack. So these folks are helping people to get better, and all of us can benefit from that. Okay, so that concludes our lesson today. So what I would like you to do, you have an exit ticket that you need to turn in. So on this exit ticket, you need to turn in the day that you attended this virtual session. And you also need to tell me which physical activity that you enjoy doing the most. And it must be something where you're moving, okay? So gaming is out. That's an enjoyable activity, but it's not physical. So I want to also tell you that in terms of this assignment, there's 15 points total. You get 5 points for attending the session when it's held. So I want you guys to be logging in and participating. In the session that I held earlier, there was there was about 10 kids, and we had a really nice conversation. So, attend the live session. You get 5 points for watching the video if you didn't attend the live lesson, and you get 5 points for answering the exit problem. Alrighty, so go ahead and do that. In lesson 201, there's a link in there on the second slide, and there's some other statistics that you will need to look at specifically for your assignment. So make sure you read those stats and think about which ones are really surprising to you, and then which ones affect you personally, because I'm sure that they're there. So as usual, if you have any questions, please send me a text or an email, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can within 24 hours. Thanks for checking in, and we'll meet next week. Bye-bye.